This perp back with another video, and I just got done watching Snowfall episode 8 season 3, and man, things are starting to get insane. I'm telling you, things are getting really crazy in this show. So before I get into this review, I need y'all to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new, and subscribe to me at PerpMinded on Twitter. And let's get right into this review because I don't want to waste no more time. So it opens up with Mel getting high on crack, continuously going down this downward spiral and just throwing her life away pretty much. And it's like a hyperlapse of her just, pawning stuff and getting to arguments with her father. And I feel bad for Mel, but I'll get back to Mel later on in this review. Let's switch gears and go over to Franklin. Now, Franklin is trying to figure out with his family, with his father and his mother, and this new character called Top Notch, trying to figure out who Reed Thompson is and just everything they can find out about him, just so they can keep an eye on him and see what he's really up to. Really interesting stuff going on. But as the episode progresses, things get really, really crazy. We got Julia and Teddy kind of just not really seeing eye to eye, and you already know Teddy is kind of iffy about her already, but he doesn't know how to really deal with it at the moment. And Julia's just doing her job pretty much at this point, but they're bumping heads. They're not really seeing eye to eye on things. Meanwhile, Andre's calling his sister to see if Mel can pretty much go out there and stay there until things get better. Then gets a knock at the door from Julia, pretty much tells him everything about Franklin and just everything that's going on, and wants his help. And and at this point, you don't really know if Andre is going to turn on Franklin, even though he helped find his daughter. Going to Franklin and Teddy, I really like these two because I feel like they parallel each other in a lot of ways. But Franklin's still very suspicious of Teddy, and Teddy is kind of just going through his own things, trying to figure things out. But he knows something is up. But I'll get to that very shortly. Now, we get this interesting scene with Leon and one of Man-Boy's peoples get into a little altercation, and it's going to be really interesting to see really what Man-Boy is up to with everything. And I truly believe he's up to something. He really wants to wait till the right moment to see Franklin slip up so he could take over and take his spot, but he's just trying to be patient and try to control the situations. Even Louis tries to talk some sense into Franklin and tells Franklin, you gotta let Jerome know and Leon know what the fuck is going on, what we're dealing with. And I think all this is going to blow up in Franklin's face and going to push people away. Speaking of which, Franklin ends up finding Mel, and he tries to just talk some sense into her, which, ends up blowing up in his face, and she's just gone. She wants her crack, and Franklin is just fed up. And you could tell he's heartbroken, but he's just like, whatever, you want to do what you want to do, go ahead. And, I think that's the last he's going to see of Mel for right now. Meanwhile, Andre's up to his own little investigation or break-in. He breaks into Franklin's crib to look for his gun and badge, but he ends up finding something else. This file that, earlier in the episode, Franklin and all of them were looking at about Teddy, and now he knows everything And this is very dangerous for Andre and very dangerous for Franklin. And Franklin comes back to his crib and finds out it's been none of the money's been touched, but the file is gone, and that file has everything that could expose Franklin pretty much. And now Franklin has to get himself out of this situation. But let's talk about Teddy. Now Teddy has a decision to make. He knows something's up with Julia, and I really like Teddy in this episode in general. His storyline hasn't been my favorite since the beginning. It was kind of a slow burn, but now it's starting to pick up, and I'm really starting to appreciate Teddy's character. I've always have. It's just this season it was kind of slow, but you just see how powerful of a player that Teddy is, and how dangerous he is. So Ringo calls in a meeting with Teddy to find out why the DEA is up his ass pretty much, and come to find out that this Agent Marino is opening up back the case. So this forces Teddy to pretty much tell Ringo everything what's going on and give him a deal, give him an ultimatum, like join me or just kill me. And Ringo ends up joining him because he's obviously more valuable to him alive than dead. So back at Andre's house, he's talking to his partner and how to deal with the whole Franklin situation. And he wants to go the extreme route and just wants to execute him pretty much. And Andre, I don't think is really down with that. He wants to do it the right way. But still, Franklin is in some deep shit because now his partner knows everything. Andre knows too much, and he's got the hold of the file, and this could blow up in everybody's face. And now you got Teddy confronting Julia, and instead of killing her, which I don't think that's still off the table, but he's pretty much pissed that she leaked all his contacts information and stuff, his connects, and her life's probably in danger. But Teddy gets on the phone with everybody to let them know that they've been compromised, and he wants them to stay low until he can figure this all out. Avi ends up getting shot at his crib before he's able to escape. But he makes it out alive. But one of his people got gunned down, and this thing is getting really crazy now, even with Franklin. And we don't really know what Gustavo is up to, what he's building at that house. Maybe it's like a tunnel or something like that, maybe. Who knows? So let's go to Mel, and we catch up with Mel, and we see that Wanda approaches her, and they get into a little back and forth. I thought they were going to go at each other one more time, but Mel's kind of fed up and ends up just leaving her there, which I thought that was a really good move. And it seems like she's starting to come to her senses. Meanwhile, back at Andre's house, he gets paid a visit to Franklin, and they have this sit down and this conversation, and come to find out that Andre is a lot closer to Franklin than we thought. He helped raise him as a kid, and he was just there when his father wasn't. And he tells him, like, I'm gonna go away, but I'm gonna come back, and we're gonna settle this man to man. And Franklin is just already too far gone and can't trust him, and he ends up shooting Andre in the head, and to make it look like a suicide. That left me shocked. Really was shocked and stunned by the decision that Franklin ended up deciding to make. Will Mel end up finding out about this? I think with Mel, she's going to find out that she's going to think that this was a suicide, and I think this is going to make things worse for her and just everybody else in the crew. Man, things are getting really, really intense. Not even the season finale yet, and we still have 2 episodes to go. So anything could happen right now, but damn, Mel's fatherless. Hopefully she doesn't go back to crack and just, man, I don't know what they're going to do with Mel, but for Franklin to do this just shows you how cold he is, and I don't know what Teddy's going to be up to. Is he going to deal with Julia? Who knows? What do you guys think is going to happen in these next few episodes, in the next couple episodes? Let me know in the comments below. But this is my episode 8 review of season 3, and I'll check y'all out next week. Peace.
What made that comedian different from that comedian? And it was the strength, the inner strength, the style, the confidence that they had, not being afraid to fail. And if I can transcend that to a lot of people, whatever, it might not be comedy, it might be in the workplace, to give them that drive, that's when I Ain't Scared of You came from. You know, you can't be afraid.